Perth were quickly asking questions of the Jets' defence through the double dangers of Davana and Davidio. But it was Colette McCallum's curling corner that did the damage after just 10 minutes. Keeper Alison Logue might feel she should have done better, but Davana was right in her face. And this angle shows the ball punched into Davana's back and straight into the goal. Caitlin Jarvie was making some incisive runs for the Jets, but the Glory's scrambling defence was effective. Both keepers were kept busy, Mariana Tabane drilling this one at Logue, while Davana continually confirmed her class with some brilliant close-in skills and pace. The finishing, though, wasn't always a match for her setup. The Glory can thank Emma Workus for keeping them in the game. Her courage and reflexes were crucial. And the post also helped out in the second half. Davana was still taunting the visitors with her speed and vision, but Gemma Simon denied her this time. Newcastle did have a better second half. Kate Hensman forcing another good save from Workus, while Davidio made sure Logue was on task for the Jets. A McCallum free kick had the locals expectant, and they mistook the side netting for a second goal. But there was to be no addition to the Glory's early and only score. So one was enough, but there was plenty of attack from both teams.
Yeah, it's a great win for us at home. It's a stepping stone, and it was Newcastle pretty physical, very fit. I can't believe how fit they are, but it was good to win at home, and it's a stepping stone to next week.
At a chilly McKellar Park, both Canberra and Sydney were looking for their first points. After their shock loss to the Mariners, the visitors were suitably desperate and nearly got lucky from Katrin Paski's deflected shot. Matilda striker Sarah Walsh is in great form. She scored Sydney's only goal in round one and backed that up with a clinical finish in the 20th minute. Canberra needed to get creative, and so Ellie Brush went for the specky overhead, but without reward. Garriott continued to assert herself on the left after the break as Sydney went in search of the second goal. Not enough on the shot here from Lena Kamas. Soon afterwards, perhaps frustrated by their finishing, Garriott clattered into Grace Gill to earn a yellow from referee Peter McCallum. It was the wrong type of example to follow, but Kylie Ledbrook did anyway when she brought down Ashley Sykes. Another Elise Perry cross had the defence in trouble when Sykes challenged Data. Sydney failed to clear, but neither Sykes nor Ellie Raymond could find the net. A Sydney corner in the 84th minute sealed the victory. Katrin Paski connected with a powerful header, a first Australian goal for the Danish international. Canberra refused to give up on the cause. Chinese Taipei import Zheng Xu pulled it back for Sykes, who had two unsuccessful bites of the cherry, two good saves from Data. Too late, they finished right over the top of Sydney, with Ellie Brush finally getting Canberra's first of the season. Thanks to goals from Walsh and Paskey and great keeping from Data, Sydney did just enough to get the points, but there were promising signs from Canberra.
Sydney just put away their chances. That's all it comes down to on the day, and unfortunately we had a lot of chances that we just didn't put away, and Sydney did.
Sarah Walsh finished her chance really on in the piece, and I think we should have put the nail in the coffin early on in the game, and I think for Canberra to come back at 2-1 with 5 minutes to go was disappointing. We've still got a lot to work on.
Melissa Barbieri may have had her own personal, if somewhat messy, cheer squad, but it was the Brisbane goal under the early pressure from the victory corner, with maker Raitahuli going close. It wasn't long, though, before Barbieri was turning it on for her fans, denying Joe Burgess from point-blank range. And she was again on her game moments later when the ball fell to the feet of Elise Kellen-Knight. Brisbane roared into attack in the second half. A delicately timed pass from Burgess to Butel, and they so nearly had the lead. They then thought they might have snuck one in from the corner, but there was interference. It was then Melbourne's turn to spurn an opportunity, with Vedrana Popovic firing centimetres wide. If that looked a certainty, Brisbane were just as guilty when Tamika Butt ran onto a gilt-edged chance, but Barbieri was there again. In the 83rd minute, the goal finally came, and it wasn't pretty, but that didn't worry Ellen Beaumont, who'd only come on 6 minutes previously. Better late than never, especially when it's worth 3 points. And Brisbane, the only team yet to concede a goal.
We knew it was going to be a hard challenge, but I thought our girls stepped up to it. A couple of minutes to go and, we just lost our heads a little bit, didn't concentrate, and that's what happens, and you can't do that against a good team.
The Central Coast Mariners were at home to Adelaide United and were keen to prove their defeat of Sydney was no one-off. The danger could have been overconfidence, and Georgia Chapman went searching for that weakness with a beautifully placed lob, but it was well dealt with by Jill Loyden. An Angela Famano free kick, and she was at full stretch again. Then it was the Mariners' turn to test Sean McLaren. Renee Rollison got there first, but headed wide. In the second half, McLaren might have been looking for a hole to crawl into had her defenders not helped her out here. Central Coast upped the ante with some sustained pressure. A Kendall Fletcher shot nearly took the perfect deflection. A yellow tide of chances flooded towards the Adelaide goal. Jenna Kingsley drawing a fine save from McLaren this time. But she could do little about the scramble that followed this Fletcher free kick. Trudy Camilleri was quickest to react, breaking the deadlock on 74 minutes. Then yet another test for Loyden's gadget-like right arm. The Mariners needed a clincher. Lydia Vandenberg burst into the area to allow Teresa Polias a good look. Now, remember when you saw this goal, because it might be one of the best of the season. With help from Camilleri, Kingsley threaded a fine ball to Vandenberg. She waited till the last second to pick out Ashley Connor, who gave the move a classy finish. That is football with style. Some pretty astute coaching from Stephen Roach, with Camilleri and Connor coming off the bench to grab the goals.
Very happy, started very slow, not really awake, which we addressed at half-time and definitely came out in the second half with a lot more intensity and looking like we wanted to play.
At halftime, we needed to step it up, and we didn't panic. Being on our home field, we knew that we needed to take advantage more of our chances and play a little tougher, and I think we definitely stepped it up in the second half and raised our level.
Just 2 teams now with maximum points after 2 rounds, the Mariners and the Roar. Then Melbourne, Sydney and Perth all have a win and a loss. The Jets may only have 1 point, but they've also only conceded 1 goal. Adelaide and Canberra are 7th and 8th.